What's good, y'all? We're back at it again in the All Facts No Cap podcast here. I'm your host, Horace Vicar, and as you can see, I'm doing a thing a little bit different here. As if you're watching this on YouTube, you can probably see both of our faces, Steven and I's faces. And Steven, you're not a stranger to this pod. You've been on here twice, and like, is there anything you have to say?
I mean, it's great. It's thank you so much for having me on here again. It's a privilege. Good
Yeah,
podcast.
this man, it sucks. NBA season is now over, man. It's
Yeah, it is.
the off season
Yeah.
is most of the time better than the actual season. So who
Mhm.
knows what will happen? But to start off the bat, like just what a game by Giannis, man. Like we're just witnessing
Yeah,
greatness right here. We're just witnessing greatness right here. Like we have to appreciate it too.
man. He's an all-time 50-point performance. Didn't he tie like in like a series clinching, like a title clinching game? I think he like tied for with
No,
this guy
he's the
Magic
only yeah.
Johnson.
No, he's the only player in NBA history to drop 50 in a elimination game. I think that's what it was.
Really?
I think he was the only player.
I thought it was a tie between him and like Magic or something. In a
And what year Magic?
oh, I forgot. I saw the graphic on like in the middle of the game they put up.
Oh yeah. It was 40 and 10, right? 40 and 10.
Maybe
40
I
and
I,
10.
I don't know what you're talking. Maybe we'll have to search that up a little bit, but I mean it's a historical
Also, yeah,
performance, whatever.
also shout out to Chris Middleton because he had the I saw this graph where it was like he had the same amount of game tying and game winning possessions, game winning buckets as the same as LeBron in 2007. So it
Man,
shows he's been balling too. But yeah, also yeah, let's like recap about game six. Like just so game six was not really more of like the Suns apart from Chris Paul that game were just not that good. It just showed that.
mhm.
That's just what
And
I
also
thought.
yeah,
That's
and
just what I
also
thought of that game. Even
yeah.
even like even like the Bucks apart from Giannis weren't that good, but like they need when Giannis needed them, they showed up at their moments.
I mean, see, that's the thing with the like. Can I talk about the entire series a little bit? Because the
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this
we're just
series kind of
recapping the
reminds me.
finals.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. So this series kind of reminded me of the Toronto Milwaukee series back in 2019, because it was like this at the beginning. Obviously, it was 2-0, and then they came out from a four. Like they came back 4 games in a row. But and also
Gentlemen
from the
sweep,
more
yeah.
tactical standpoint, at the beginning, Milwaukee could not stop. Like if you look at the replays from game one and game two, they were running a lot of top the key pull ups for Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and Milwaukee just couldn't stop it. And they made the proper adjustments by putting PG Tucker on top of that key, and it worked out really well. And being able
That's
to adjust, that's what kind of won them the
that was
championship.
exactly what I was thinking. That's what I said. Like, in order for the Bucks to win the series, they have to like put
Mhm.
Brook Lopez on the bench. So they can't really have a drop big in that scenario, right? They have to have the most versatile defenders, and it was good that even sometimes they'll put PJ Tucker, sometimes they'll put Bobby Portis, and they'll have to defend on the high pick and roll because these guys are good mid range shooters. You're not gonna want to let them have their looks. But
Man, Bobby Portis,
honestly, yeah, Bobby Portis. Also,
yeah,
the one thing I'm not really seeing as much is that we got to give credit to the Bucks front office.
hmm
Yeah, they convinced Giannis to stay. They got Drew Holiday from that trade. They got PJ Tucker from the trade deadline, and they got Bobby Portis in this free agency. It just
hmm
shows that though they were able to get their key players at any given moment. And it's
yeah.
also yeah, to recap the finals, like yeah, I you could say it is similar to the Toronto Raptors and Milwaukee Bucks in 2019. However, the Bucks were a different team from that time.
Yeah, man, that
At
was
that time, they really just relied on Giannis only.
yeah. I'm going to be honest. The 2019 Bucks also had a lot of potential because, it was in 2019 it was kind of just between Toronto, Philly, and Milwaukee coming out the East, right? So,
I
uh,
think if Kawhi didn't hit that shot, I think Philly would have probably gone through. But yeah, that's just a hypothetical to me.
I wouldn't have. I feel like because Toronto's like adjustment, because Toronto's coaching staff is a lot better than Philly. Let's just put that straight, right? I
At
have
that
a
time,
feeling
yeah, yeah.
if Philly had gone through to the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't think they would have beat Milwaukee. I feel like it would have been Milwaukee and Golden State in the finals. in 2019.
Okay, well, okay, we're getting to a tangent right now. Okay,
Yeah.
let's. So I was actually gonna talk about. So remember when I thought the Suns were actually gonna win the series, right? Like, I've told you that, but the reason why was that I didn't really trust Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Mike Budenholzer to make the right adjustments, and those guys have proved me wrong. I like that. I like it when guys prove me wrong. But Mike Budenholzer made the great adjustments. As we talked about, he made the adjustment of defending the high pick and roll, so Chris Paul and Devin Booker couldn't really make their shots. And
And also, another thing that Mike Budenholzer did really well is because he put Drew Holiday like in a more strategic defensive position. Like if you look at the game replays, he's always sitting on top
yeah,
of the key, like next to PJ Tucker. So before he was just like maybe sticking onto Devin Booker or whoever is guarding in game one and
Chris
two. I
Paul, yeah,
forgot.
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. Okay. Yeah, but the defensive adjustments made by Milwaukee, it's insane. That's what kind of won the game. Like the defense, the Milwaukee defense.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Milwaukee had the most efficient defense. As if I made a podcast episode like months ago about like who should be the defensive player of the year or like who should win all the awards. And the defensive player of the year, in my opinion, should have been Drew Holiday because he was like a part of the anchor for that efficient defense. And it it really just shows that like great it really just shows that like I thought the Suns were a good defensive team too, but Milwaukee was just a different team at the end of the day. They had better talent. They were the better team. They had the better players. I think Giannis is of course Giannis is better than all those guys, but like that's just what it is. They have the better. Oh, I
Yeah.
think my thing might be.
Yeah, your
I
thing's closed
also
for a second. It's fine. We'll just keep going.
yeah okay wait, but I'm good now, right?
Yeah, you're good now. That's
Okay,
good.
so actually, one thing I was gonna talk about was that PJ Tucker has a ring.
Mhm.
One of my favorite players has a ring.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a Houston fan, I mean, PJ Tucker, it's been a while. It's a long time coming for the Milwaukee Bucks. For a lot of the players on the Milwaukee Bucks, like Chris Middleton, PJ Tucker, Giannis. It's been a long time coming. Like they deserve a ring by now.
And I was
I feel
gonna
like both
say,
sides. Yeah,
oh yeah, both sides away, yeah.
yeah. I feel like both sides deserve a ring because Chris Paul, obviously top. I would argue that he's top 5 point guard of all time.
I think
It's
he is. I
kind
think
of
he
tough
is.
seeing him. Yeah,
I think
I
he
don't
is.
think he would be dancing the line top 5 and top 10. I feel like he would be like fifth or sixth ever, in my
Well,
opinion.
one thing, okay, I don't know why I didn't say this yet, but Drew Holiday showed that why the Bucks went after. Remember when the Bucks traded all their assets for him, and
Mhm.
people were doubting if they really should have traded all that for him. But he showed why he was the key reason. He showed how he was known as worth.
Yeah. When the trade happened, I actually thought that it was a really good trade because, but the Bucks
So
were
did
win
I.
out, right? They were a very win out team. So
Win now
like
team,
trading
and
their future assets. Yeah.
they were trying to convince Giannis to stay because they didn't want him to leave.
But I think Giannis already signed his extension, did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did that in December. I remember.
Yeah. That was insane. Now the Bucks, if they keep their core, I feel like if the Nets are somewhat break up, I'm not sure what the Nets are going to do next year, but the Eastern Conference is going to be pretty interesting. With if the Nets were healthy,
They probably would have won that series. That's
yeah,
just
they
what I
probably
think.
would have won
Yeah,
Game 7, honestly. But the
they
same
no,
thing with
they
the
probably
Suns,
would
right?
have won the series before Game 7 if they
Yeah.
were healthy, fully healthy.
Hmm. See, that's the thing with also Phoenix. So, like both teams in the finals this year were due to injuries. Like Anthony Davis couldn't play on the Lakers, but and Kawhi Leonard, right? Kawhi couldn't play much in the finals either
Yeah,
due to the injury. And I have a feeling if Kawhi was healthy, the Clippers probably would have won the Western Conference
yeah.
Finals.
Like before. Remember, we had the podcast before the playoffs started. I said Clippers and Nets were my finals thing,
Hmm. Same.
but oh, you had the same thing.
I think I said one of the LA teams,
You
and
said
then the
you
Nets.
said the Nets. Yeah, I remember you said the
Yeah.
Nets too.
Hmm.
Yeah, but we did agree that the Bucks were the only team to defeat the Nets.
Hmm.
Yeah. Also, like what? Oh yeah. So just to cap off this playoffs entirely, I felt like this playoffs was a lot more due to like, of course, this was a lot due to who was the more healthy team, right? Because the healthier team won at the end. But this playoffs just probably opened a lot of like opportunities for any other team. Like they can probably think, oh, we saw the Suns and Bucks make the finals. Maybe we can make the finals because we can probably beat these teams.
Mhm.
Such as like there might be more of an underdog statement next year,
Yeah.
if you know
See,
what I
that's
mean.
the thing mostly with this year though. Like obviously, like you said, it was the healthier team making the fight, like winning the games, the series. But I feel like this is probably one of the greatest playoffs, like one of the greatest playoffs of the 2010s, probably.
Really?
Yeah. Ever since maybe 2016 and 2011, I feel like this playoffs is, like I know it's 2021, but it's a legendary playoff. Seeing so many small teams just come out of nowhere, like it's the Suns' first season of really competing, right? They haven't even made the playoffs before that, and with Monty Williams, and it's the Suns are an amazing story. I
I
feel
gotta
like
say, I gotta say, shout out to Devin Booker, man. He dropped back-to-back 40-point games in the finals.
mhm.
And he didn't play a good game six, yeah, but like this was his first ever finals, and he played really well.
I mean, they all have experience now. So, like in the future, if the Suns do decide to keep their roster, I feel like the Suns will make it far. It's a bright future for the Phoenix Suns.
So yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the reason why I said I had the Clippers and Nets, but like, so I was wrong about that.
Mhm.
It was not their fault that they lost because they both lost due to big injuries on their team, right? But
Mhm.
I was wrong that I was wrong that it was Clippers and Nets, and I had the Nets winning it all, but the
I
Bucks
was
won it
kind of
all. That was really
yeah.
great.
I was kind of wrong about the Suns too because coming into the playoffs, Suns were the second seed, right, in the
Yeah,
West, or the first. I forgot.
they were the second. Utah was
Yeah,
first.
Utah was first. Yeah. I didn't really believe in the Suns because obviously, besides Chris Paul, nobody on the team really has too much playoff experience, especially like pushing really deep
Mhm.
into the playoffs. So I thought they were probably not gonna, and especially with Monty Williams. Monty Williams is also like its first time making the finals. So I have a feeling their entire staff and player, like entire team, is just not very like prepared for the finals, quote unquote.
Mhm.
I feel like that's like a big factor in why they lost too. Just not enough experience.
The Bucks don't really have any experience either.
Well,
Finals
the Bucks,
experience,
the not finals experience, but they've been playing in the playoffs for as far as I can
or
look
like
back.
they were contenders for the past few years. That's why. But yeah,
Drew Holiday
so
was just a missing piece
Drew
in the
Holiday,
Bucks
PJ
squad.
Tuck, yeah, PJ Tucker, Bobby Port, yeah, the Bucks front office did a really great job. So like,
Mm-hmm.
where do you think the Bucks rank in terms of like championship teams
When compared to what
compared to like the past 10 years, the championships of the
past ten
past 10 years?
years? Like, what do you mean by rank? Like,
Like, no, how good of a team they are to actually win a championship compared to the
mhm,
rest of the other teams that have won, compared to like the 2020 Lakers, the 2019 Raptors,
mhm.
2018 Warriors, 17 Warriors, 16 Cavs, like yeah, go on and then so forth.
I'm gonna be honest here. The this team is definitely not gonna beat the Heat, like the early 2000s LeBron Wade, Bosch Heat. There's no way this team's gonna beat that.
I was thinking about this. Like I was actually gonna say they're not really a great championship team
Hmm.
because most of the time like they were really inconsistent. And yeah, like it did pay off in the end, but it wasn't like they were facing like really great teams to do that.
But they did. The team was. I mean, they did pull through though. Obviously, like they found their rhythm later on to the playoffs,
I'm
right?
saying they're not really like they probably have the best story, yes.
Hmm.
Like I said, I don't know if you saw this in my story, but I said that this championship is like similar to Dirk's. It's just that like Giannis and Dirk both stayed with their teams and they were able to get a ring for them, and that's something special. But like, of course, yeah, this ring's not on the same level as Dirk's. It's not at the same level,
Yeah,
but story wise, it's probably the same. It's probably like a similar story to that.
yeah. I have a feeling, yeah. In 2011, obviously the Dirk Nowitzki, what's it called Dallas Mavericks, they were facing against like a perfectly healthy Miami Heat,
Mhm.
like prime Miami Heat team. So
Yeah, prime Miami Heat team,
that was that was incredible.
and he
Yeah,
pulled through with that. I'm not saying like the Bucks have an asterisk, that's what it's called, asterisk to
Asterisk.
their asterisk
Hmm.
asterisk to their ring. Of course, like yeah, no, this ring counts. Of course, it counts. Like you beat who's in front of you, and you beat them fairly, and you
Hmm.
won 4 straight finals games in a row. So yeah, of course, this ring counts. But they're not
Hmm.
really a great championship team because like I don't think they're half court offense apart from like Giannis dominating the paint, and then like if Giannis is also maintained, then like you go to Chris Middleton, and sometimes Chris Middleton is very inconsistent. Like we
Yeah.
saw that in the playoffs. Like and yeah, he did pull through in the finals, which was really great. But then it's
Yep.
just like it's more of like you're you're relying on just one guy, Chris Middleton, to either have a
Hmm.
good or bad game.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Chris Middleton was, I guess, the Bucks X factor, right? Chris Middleton throughout his entire career, he's always been really consistent. He's never
Mm-hmm.
really been consistent, right? He's either really putting up superstar numbers or he's playing like just a regular
Scrub,
role
yeah,
player.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I said like the key aspect to the Bucks' success is Chris Middleton because it just
Hmm.
depends on how he plays. Like Drew
Do you think?
Holiday, you might not, you can just ask him to just play good defense and he'll give you a little bit offensively, and then that's just completely fine for the team. It's just that like Giannis can't close out games because of how he maintains his because of how he's maintained. Drew Holiday cannot close it because he's not that very good offensively. And yeah, like Chris Middleton is supposed to be that perimeter elite shot creator that the Bucks relied to. Like how remember Shaq and Kobe, right? Like Shaq was the most dominant guy, but he couldn't really close out games, and then that's why they turned to Kobe. And then
Mhm.
this is it's,
And
I'm not saying they're Shaq and Kobe. Don't quote me
yeah.
on that. Don't quote me on that.
Shaq and
I'm
Kobe
just saying
was
it's similar to
was
that.
legendary, man.
Okay, yeah. So what else were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you about the Suns. What do you think the Suns X factor was gonna be? DeAndre Ayton?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was
Mhm.
saying gonna say. But yeah,
DeAndre Ayton, I feel like, yeah. Sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna talk more about the Bucks here. So, like, what do you think this does to Giannis's legacy? Because now I already think he's a top 25 player of all time.
Top 25 player of all time? I
Yeah,
would actually say a little bit higher. He's probably like, when we're talking about international players right now, I feel like he's in conversation for top three international players of all time.
I think
Like
he is. Yeah, I think he already is that.
already?
Good. Who else is there? Hakeem,
Dirk,
Dirk,
Hakeem,
Hakeem,
Dirk,
Dirk, and him.
Tim Duncan?
Are you gonna call him international?
Tim Duncan's kind. Well, I mean, people do consider him an international player, though, right?
Yeah, fine. If you're counting
Yeah.
Tim Duncan, then yeah, you have that. But then who else is there?
You see, these great international players are all power forwards too, so can't really make a case for Giannis here either.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Hakeem is the center. Yeah.
and also, Hakeem is kind of a power forward. Like he plays center power forward,
He
right?
played he
Throughout his
played
time.
power forward in his earlier days when Ralph Sampson
Mhm.
was on the team, but that was in a
Yeah.
different era. So then he was put at the 5 when Ralph
Okay.
Sampson was gone.
I'm not super familiar with Rockets history. I mean, I think you're
Well,
the guy
yeah.
that's the best for that. Yeah.
Oh well, yo, Hakeem Olajuwon was my favorite player of all time, right?
Yeah.
And he's also Muslim too, so it's like, yo, we have that connection.
Yeah, that's insane, man. Seeing all these kind of players playing the NBA. And also another player that I would consider putting up top five, like throughout my entire time watching the NBA, I've always been really high on Luka Doncic. Luka is just
Yeah,
this guy's insane. If this guy can
I,
do anything, like if he gets the help he needs in Dallas, I have a feeling he's gonna be in a similar situation compared to like Giannis, right?
yeah, at the age
He's
of, but we'll
he's
see,
always choking in
we'll
the
see what you
playoffs,
could do.
but then um but then if Dallas does surround him with some, decent quality role players, I feel like Dallas